Hi folks, this is Mike Aguzin and Jonathan Shockley, and this is titled Tender Knob. We live on a shelf between Knob Hill and the Tenderloin, in this little area in between. I want to acknowledge a few other poets, even though they are at a distance, they're not very close, but that would include Jack Hirschman and Agneta Falk, who are very fine poets. Jack translates in 8. I've heard 12 languages. I don't know. Also, Al Winans and Neely Kurkovsky. And then I wanted to mention Robert or Bob Hass, an exceptional man in so many ways, and he, understated as well. Secondly, I want to mention Paris. Paris is, I'm just a lover of Paris. Recently I've been reading Zola again, Emile Zola, on Nana, that's the title. I read some other books. Also, I read some about Auguste Rodin and all those periods, the Lost Generation, the Impressionists, Post-Impressionists, are tremendous in the art world. And now regarding space and time, let's just take space. The Kepler telescope has been sent out, and it'll remain out in space till 2016. That's very good to hear. Also, UFOs were acknowledged by the former Minister of Defense for Canada, Hellner. He said that there are 4 new species. One of the species is working with the U.S. government in Nevada. That's pretty far out. I want to mention Lloyd's joke. What were the first words of Adam to Eve in the Garden of Eden? Watch out. I don't know how big this gets. All right. High school, for some reason, we're having another reunion this year. I want to acknowledge Cappuccino High School in San Bruno, Millbrae. Very, very fine school. And then Tennyson, name of a poet, obviously, in Hayward that I went to. Also, one other acknowledgement, I have many new online friends, some exceptional, very gifted people. It's really good to know you. Also, again, this is Tender Knob, and I shall read. And this piece is from some time ago. At Cafe Picaro. I love poetry and poets, sinners and saints. Whirlpool of delight, earthly delights, Bosch, proven masterpiece, right, sitting in Cafe Picaro, watching nymphets pass by, blue-jeaned and sweatered goddesses go by. I did notice paintings, pictures that Rob had hung up at Cafe Picaro, coffee, eccentrics, artists, occultists, students, political activists. The man with the red painted face caught me by the sleeve. Did I please, conceiving, replaying old memory tapes, tea, Pepsi, cigarettes, lunch, dinner, and head, I said. Did I play these tapes, Professor, little Professor? One of these white t-shirted, no bra, healthy, endowed jiggles by. She said nothing, but drank her coffee, walking by this way at Cafe Picaro. And this was written just about 2 weeks ago. It's not even typed up yet. I wish to share it with you. Might as well. Oh shit, I said to Alex, he the cafe worker up the street. Looks like a young hippie with his dreads. This was the first day or the longest day of the year, and I had just read some from the Transcendental Temptation. about UFOs, psychics, scientists, religion, critical thinking, and of course the paranormal. Anywho, a plethora of info taking an informed and educated point of view. I looked out the window to the street, not much happening. Folks going by, some on cell phones, inside, woman chatting about life, something about Oakland, and you might as well. This is dedicated, this little poem, to my nephew Nathan Ty. Just the man I am. The whispering, warm fog sprinkles her mist. Now tuck us in, kiss us goodnight. White, gray, blue fog is rolling, rolling in. No preacher, just a minor poet, just a man I am. I ingress, egress, we power boated, we've made it back to shore. Oh, that blue-green bay, that blue-gray bay. No preacher, just a minor poet, just a man I am. I've heard it rumble, I've heard it rumble. We built this city, white, gray fog, blue-green bay. No preacher, just a poet, just a man I am, just a man I am. Glad to hear that you can. And this is Time at Fillmore Cafe. Coffee is spilled, cigarettes they are smoked, words expressed, plenty of discourse even among the water nymphs, seaweed floating, beer can is thrown away, pondering a copy of Toni Morrison's Song of Solomon. A time to get to it, time to be, time to do, be do da, be do you, time. I'm just talking a story, attempting to clear away from the loud talker. Two Afro-Americans sit near me. One smokes a cigarette, the other a cigar. Two English women walk by chatting in smart English. One says, Maya Angelou. I sit and attempt to gather my mind before work tonight. As I take another whiff of cigar smoke, he apologizes about the smoke of his cigar. I say he is cool. And today is still Tuesday, and it is foggy and chilly out here in short-sleeved shirt. I see a blonde beauty through the window into the coffee shop. Yes, this coffee is good. Time to time, the Chambers Brothers play and sing, and they take me back to time at Fillmore Cafe. And pen and paper. Maker and maid, bland and yet spicy, she, I feel, likes me, but I am not her type of man. I am different, not well adaptive to certain ways, well, certainly not wealthy. She wishes for my better income, pen and paper. To be, from the parsimony of a quiet rain to the complexity of daily schedules, daily commitments, daily priorities executed, to being without that special someone, but to have within certain limitations verbal intimacies concerning personal wounds and secrets shared, to be making money but not keeping up, not much enjoying the work week, low wages. Yes, that, and always catching up on sleep and getting up at 3:30 a.m. 4 of 7 days a week. Yes, not to have my own room, to share a small room. This is part of the lifestyle. And yes, to reading so many, including Shakespeare, Poe, Russian poets, Frost, Eliot, Nin, Jung, and Neruda. These are my pleasures. To speak, to share, to understand the small, complex world, to see shadows that live more luxury than I, to dream and to be much like a monk, or for a few hours a day a hermit. This is my pleasure to be. Make you mine. Si hablo español, no hablo español. The clerk took the small fee, the eraser had stole the king of diamonds, and the queen of hearts lives. Suzanne takes you down and wouldn't travel with you, wouldn't travel blind. She takes you down, Mr. Leonard Cohen, to weave a wool sweater, to weave without much light, to feel the intuitive warp, and to the sea, while the seashell echoes the universe. Written some time ago, the litany of bones from San Francisco. 1. This story of San Francisco burns with passion and fire. Not only did I live through such tumult and such travail, but we all did. For the pleasures of life of the flesh can so approximate the real tragedies, so noble, nay, maybe none that sublime, but recreates commissions of failure, success, not pity, seep into my breast. 2. Bones from San Francisco were down Van Ness, down Market, down to the Slot, to Keystone Corner Bar and Grill. Here are clowns, vagrants, millionaires, billionaires, newspapermen, women cops, gay, bi, straight, transgender, black, purple, red, white, and yellow. We are San Franciscans. We are the blend and the culture. From Grace Cathedral to El Bethel Temple, Ashram, peyote, and gurus, is a city waiting to die, for we live on shaky ground. We write because we must, we live to be true before the dusk and dust. 3. Bones from San Francisco, where America, oh America, San Francisco will die and be reborn. Today, tomorrow, and yesteryear, we live where each act of dying is living, and each act of living is dying. Matter is energy, energy is matter. Here, corpuscle, sand, rock, bone, raw, warm, and flesh are where Hot Spring, Milkweed Forest, Grant Avenue, Chinatown, fish, smell, where feet shuffle, where mother carries child on back. North Beach, the heart of town, is vital, is colorful, is pasta and wine and espresso coffee, where hookers, artists, intellectuals, business people are, and lovers, musicians, restaurant owners cavort. 4. Montgomery Street is Wall Street West with planned open space, light, and well-dressed busy business folks. The avenues are quiet. There are many Asian families. Russians are here with their fine women. Nob Hill is the top of the hill. In the Tenderloin, be careful. Telegraph Hill is next to North Beach, and more. And the Shadows Restaurant, the wharf where Joe DiMaggio's restaurant is, was, and crab and French bread and wine are savored. Calhollow, Pacific Heights are just right. Enjoy life. 5. The Mission is where you must have a mission. The Excelsior District seems so far out there. West Portal, Stonestown, St. Francis Woods are very nice indeed. Now to Sloat, to the zoo. Be no fool at Monkey Island and Flyshacker Pool. Then to Lake Merced and the Richmond may you go. We are young and old and most truly alive. Bones from San Francisco, where music, opera, fog, jazz, sailing, you name it, we've got the mix, including doctoring, healing, sports, football, baseball, and pinball, and all. Go sailing in the bay, take a train ride down the peninsula, or go up to Marin County. Then go to Berkeley, Oakland, San Joe, Geronimo are all part of the litany of the bones from San Francisco. And this was some time ago. We met. We met, or rather I saw her go by, the tuxedoed men and some ravenous woman in low-cut gowns. She is perky and smiley, a space engineer working for NASA or somewhere related. I am a salesman. She lived in the San Mateo Highlands off a street I recognized from before. I said a former girlfriend lived there. I lied. My second wife and her family had, and I had sold their home. We talked and walked and looked at certain works of art. She says she likes one for $25K and another painting. And she talked about China, where they were taken by the blonde hair on her arms. I later saw my massage friend with her girlfriend, and then sold the Bennetts 3 tenors with Domingo Carrasas and Pavarotti. I reassured the matriarch that her Neiman was guaranteed on delivery. We saw Leroy Neiman and the owner, Frank Bowles, go next to each other. Frank had much pleased the doorman as well. This my associate Chris White had pointed out to me. The jazz band was in black tie. I was in a champagne or tan tux. Sherry was with her girlfriend. We met. And I believe, no, 2 more. Romance. Gather ye rosebuds while ye may, ejaculated Robert Herrick like a journalist or poet recording these small moments of life. I think of love tonight and how my budget is, and little can I afford to date, and the need to take a day off. I need to call Mom. Then I think of this family I am from as I look at the pretty ladies, one with a red tinted hair and her friend with a nose ring and earring on her left ear. I think of her last night, some of the folk songs and entertainers, Judy Collins, Peter, Paul, and Mary, the Lamplighters, the Smothers Brothers, Joan Baez, Pete Seeger, and how they touched the wholesome heart. How I remember Donna, my stepmother, and what good that might evoke for me. I just let a little gas out. It felt good. Then I think of my short message to Paul and my sense of care. And a mother comes off the email she sends to her children. Is romance really dead? And a final poem. This is a little more experimental, with bent syntax, which I do. Watermelon rainbow. Oh Bacchus, a pretty monarch butterfly flies over and alights. A candle flame dazzles a sun-drenched beach at night. How nymphets with breasts and buttocks are, where love stuff, death, an old man from 2001 is reincarnated, recycled to cosmos and becomes possibly an earth child. Snow White and 7 dwarfs, canvas army tents, bay winds surfing, and driftwood ants do tell their story of many civilizations. Mildew, stifling odor, hot pancakes, popovers, and family meals are presented. See the fly on the hose, compose the rose, sniff the pearl, sniff the red finger-licking lipstick cream, tomato pie, dying in the sand with buried earth, red pine, ivy fence, and geranium sadness. Leaf is a right with sky grounding plain. It came to roaring madness, blissful sneeze. Now care to take a dip in the pool, comparable ease. Lettuce, mustard seed, carrying plankton to sea, semen and vaginal fluid. Don't forget the watercolors and crayons. Don't stop now. Have you tried oil? Wealth, wealth, don't melt. She came from the river deep, complex, tight, and most right. She's a pretty woman. Oh, have mercy. Oh, Bacchus. Oh, Bacchus. And once again, I want to thank my online friends, and I also want to remind you this is a tender knob. And I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you, Jonathan.